Hi, New Life Kids. It's Miss Tammy here. I miss you guys so much. I can't wait to see you again. Hopefully I get to see a few of you this coming Sunday. I can't wait. In your mail this week, you should be getting this newsletter. Every family would have gotten it. I know you got smaller packages than normal. And this is talking about how we're going to start having church in person again. We're not going to do children's church for at least the first couple of weeks. We might start it back up again after that, but we're going to just have everyone in big church. But you're going to get to hear Miss Tammy talk anyway, okay? You're going to get to hear a lesson. I'm still going to record videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and you'll get those as well. I'm going to still make packets, okay? But what I'm going to do probably is you'll get them on Sunday, and if you're not there on Sunday, I'll mail them to you, okay? So, for instance, everyone got a packet for this coming Sunday. But then the next Sunday, I'm not going to send it. I'll give it to whoever shows up on Sunday, and then if you aren't there on Sunday, which is fine, it's not a big deal, I'll just go ahead and mail it to you. So you'll get it after the video posts, okay? So I hope that made sense. If not, have your parent message me and I'll explain it to them, okay? So you also should have gotten this coloring sheet. On the outside, it says, people look at the outward appearance, and on the inside, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. What does that mean? People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Have you ever heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Have you? Yeah, I think we all have heard that. Don't judge a book by its cover. What's that mean? So I've got some books here. These are books that I've liked. They're books that are for about your age group. I would say between 8 years old and 12-year-olds can read these books, okay? And 8-year-old, some of these books, 8-year-olds with their parents, they're appropriate age-wise, but they're maybe a little bit longer. So, but yeah, 8 to 12-year-old, these are appropriate books. And I love all these books. These are all books I've read. Some of them I read when I was a kid. This book particularly, I read when I was a kid. It was one of my favorites. Indian in the Cupboard. This is the printing, I think, from the 80s. And I really, this is one of my favorite books. If you've ever read this book, your cover probably looked different than mine, didn't it? And that's because they've reprinted the cover of this book a bunch because it's been a very popular book. Yeah, and when I bought this book, it was only $3.99 for that book. That's pretty cheap. So some of these books I read after I was a grown-up. I've worked in bookstores for over a decade. A decade is 10 years. That's 10 years. So more than that, I've worked in bookstores. And for several of those years, I worked in the kids department. I was in charge of the kids department. So I've read a lot of kids books that are new that maybe some of you have read. So one of the books that I've read recently is, in the last 5 years maybe, is the 3 Times Lucky. This is one of the books that I've read. This is one of my favorite books that's new. This book series, Masterminds, and this is actually the 3rd book, is in the book. Now, look at this. If you were going to see these 2 books in the store, I'm like, Miss Tammy's going to read one of those books, which one would you think? This one, right? This one looks, got a boat and a mountain and a plane. It looks kind of, it doesn't really look like something Miss Tammy would like to read, does it? But I loved this book. I loved that series. That was really, really good. Because the important part about a book is not the cover. It's not the design that the publisher made. The publisher makes the author, so that for the Sheila Turnage, she wrote the book. But the publisher designs the cover, and they organize it and print it, and they bind it. See, they glue it. And the publisher, it doesn't matter what the publisher does on the outside to a book to draw your eye or attention to it. What's important is the inside of the book, these words and what they say and what they speak to you, right? So that's the same. It doesn't matter how we look on the outside. It doesn't matter what our hair color. It doesn't matter our skin color. It doesn't matter how old we are, how big we are, how little we are, or how tall or short. None of that matters. What matters is what's on the inside. People may judge each other by our outward appearance, but we're not supposed to, are we? No. God doesn't judge us on our outward appearance. God judges us on our heart. So how can he judge our hearts? I mean, God can see everything, can't he? He knows everything, doesn't he? So what is it that you want God to see in your heart? What is it? So when God sees what's in our heart, he sees what we love the most, who we care about the most, what's the most important things to us. And we're going to talk this weekend, this Sunday, about someone who wanted to put God first in his life. Someone who wanted to obey God and strive and worked hard to put his life in track with the way God wanted him to live. And so that person, because of that, God saw their obedience, that's a good word, and their love for him. And we're going to see how that reflects in the things that happens to him. So God doesn't just look at, oh, look, Miss Tammy got a new dress today, or look at Miss Tammy's makeup, which I'm not wearing any today, but look at Miss Tammy's makeup and it's all fancy and she's wearing purple eyeshadow or she's wearing blue eyeshadow, or, I wear all kinds of colors of eyeshadow. It doesn't matter. Those things don't matter. Those are just fun things that Miss Tammy likes to do. Just whatever, wearing fun dresses or wearing fun hats or things like that. Those are fun. But what's on the inside, what matters to me, what's in your heart, those are the things God looks at and God sees. And he wants us to set our hearts on him. So he wants to see that we love him, and that's an important thing that we need to put our hearts on. So I want you guys to think about it. Maybe make a list this week. I know I did a kind of a silly thing with my books, putting some books. I put some books up here. But I wanted to show you that the outside of the book doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. This book right here, you might have seen this book before, The Indian in the Cupboard, but it looked a lot different. But the inside of that book is exactly the same. And that's the important thing. What's on the inside of us, what we mark as important, what we love and who we love. And, those are the important things that God looks at. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you again. I just want you to know that I love you and God loves you, and we cannot wait until I can see you. And even if you can't be there on Sunday, that's okay. I understand. I'm still going to send you guys out. I'm not going to send you a packet next week, remember, because I'm going to wait until the Sunday, and that way, if you're at church, I'll give it to you, and if you're not, then I'll mail it, okay? That way you don't have to worry about remembering to bring it to church or anything. You can just have it. All right, guys, I love you so much. Bye.